Hi, my name is Sharif Sultan, and today I'll be presenting on intelligent light automation. So I'll begin with the purpose of my project, which was to reduce the amount of energy wasted. Because lights are so common, it's also a common issue where light energy is wasted due to leaving lights on that don't need to be on. So a common solution that has been utilized throughout the professional space as well as external settings has been using motion sensors. So a lot of times you'll find these in your backyard or in an office space, and but unfortunately, this idea hasn't really developed as much in terms of the in-home environment. So by designing an intelligent automation system by hand, you have several advantages as opposed to other methods. So I'll start with the increased efficiency. So by placing the motion sensors precisely where you want them for the best accuracy you can get, this obviously increases efficiency. It decreases the amount of error, as well as increasing efficiency of just having it automated, since it stays on when you need it or it turns off when you don't need it. There's also increased convenience. So this is just a factor of not having to turn the light switch on and off when you go in and out of the room. And there's also increased security. So by so a common solution to the same problem is having voice activation. So you say like Alexa lights on, Alexa lights off, that kind of thing. But the problem with this implementation is that you generally have to have an always on microphone, which is obviously poses a security or privacy risk. Moving on to the requirements of my solution, I utilized a Raspberry Pi due to the versatility of the GPIO pins, as well as LED lights and a 5-volt power supply to power those LED lights. So I chose LEDs in particular because they just pretty safe to wire and just honestly kind of cool. And then I also utilized PIR sensors for the motion sensors. And for software, I utilized Linux, just the operating system that the Raspberry Pi runs on, as well as Python 3 to write my program in. And moving on to the physical hardware setup, we have essentially the LED digital input is connected to the Raspberry Pi, but the LEDs are powered by the 5-volt external power supplies because the Raspberry Pi doesn't have enough current to power that many LEDs. And then the PIR sensors are connected both in their digital output as well as power to the Raspberry Pi, since they draw significantly less current. And here is a demo, a video of my in-room setup. Okay. So it is currently set up in this box. So there's the Raspberry Pi on a bit of an angle because it's sitting on 2 power supplies. There's the PIR sensor right here. And then the LEDs run around, and then you see them again on the floor. And the final PIR sensor is in the doorway right there. Okay. So as far as how the program works, so at the basic sense, there's 2 PIR sensors, and when a motion is detected, they go to the Raspberry Pi, which then decides whether to turn the lights on or off. And in the more complex explanation, the Raspberry Pi checks the sensors, and the sensors, if sensor 1 is triggered, so sensor 1 is the one in my personal setup in the doorway. So if that sensor is triggered, then check if the lights are on. If they're off, that means you're the first person to go into the room, so turn them on. And if they are already on, that means somebody else is in the room. So you signal to them that somebody else is coming in by flashing the lights and then returning to the original on state. Whereas if sensor 1 is not triggered, but sensor 2 is triggered first, then that means somebody is inside the room, but on their way out. And to guarantee that they left the room, we have sensor 1. So you wait 4 seconds and then check sensor 1. If sensor 1 is on, that means that they did indeed leave the room. So you can turn the lights off. And here is the code. So again, just a basic explanation on the left. And I have a lot of if statements and if else statements. In my particular setup, I decided to have them like be rainbow colored. So that's why there's a lot of a lot of code there. But yeah. And then here is a live demo of it. So you can see the lights turn on as I go into the room and do whatever I need to do in the room. And then on the way out, trigger the first sensor and then trigger the second sensor, and the lights turn off. Okay. So thank you for your time, and I hope you enjoyed the project.